Live from a white guy support group called the Glass Ceiling Maintenance Crew.
Ooh.
It's an all-new terrific Tuesday edition of Business Pants, joined by analyst whole Matt Moscardi. On today's lead director stained golf khakis, called April 28th, 2026, the boardroom buy-in game.
What is this? This is
a whole new game. I'm already tired from all this. Our show today is being sponsored by Free Flow Analytics and freeflowanalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power, connections, and performance for free.
Yeah, this is true. And you know what? I just had my conversation.
I'm getting a little angry with them, by the way.
No, I had my talk this morning with their tech team.
Yeah,
and
go
it's
ahead.
The update is that it was an issue in the back end. All the data's there.
I got to tell you, I don't like to yell at things that are free. It's like yelling at the sidewalk, which I don't do, because you know what? Trees happen and roots happen and I trip. It's like, that's life. And that's how I feel about freeflowanalytics.com recently. There's a lot of tree roots popping up. But as you'll hear from the show, I had a lot of research to do, or I should say the writers had a lot of research to do.
That's right.
And they
staff
needed that platform to be up and running because it was difficult. I got to tell you.
Don't worry, it will be.
It's coming?
Yeah, it's coming. And when it comes, it'll be instantaneous.
All right, so here's what we did this week. So in our schedule, today should be the bad game, where I find horribly dystopian, depressing headlines, and I ask Matt to tell me how bad they are. But I couldn't handle it today.
Okay.
And Matt suggested to me last week that, maybe it's time to revisit. We used to have this show called the Blowhard Index, where we tried to tie the market to our world, right? Because, like it or not, despite the fact that people believe in us morally and ethically, deep down they just want to make money off of all this. Whereas that's not my point of view here. I think we're well beyond just sort of selfishly making a dollar on stocks, and I think we should push worldviews a little more strongly. But I decided to take Matt's suggestion seriously for once, and I thought, how can I tie the headlines to actionable market decisions? How can we teach potential users how to interpret moves and headlines and new directors and new CEOs, and then how can they look at the data and make actual portfolio decisions? That's what I mean. This is like, for me, this is as nerdy and market driven as it gets, because I don't even own stocks. So
I want to back up really
go
quickly
ahead.
and just say, don't blame this on me, because I know whatever happens
Hey,
next,
look,
I don't want to own it.
Yeah, okay, fine. It is. I am afraid it's going to be really boring. But maybe if some of our listeners find this to be useful, please reach out to us.
Yeah,
I know you're out there. I know you occasionally reach out. Let us know. Maybe this is a new feature you want us to focus on, but maybe this could be its own show too, because just like the proxy countdown is its own show, and it's really for those hyper nerdy, smelly institutional investors. Maybe this one could be for hyper nerdy,
a white guy
smelly
support group,
retail invest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've over-explained it, as I usually do.
All right, let's go.
See how it works.
All right, I'm going to press this, and you're going to give me the first.
Yeah, and you don't know anything about this.
I know nothing about it.
You
I don't know
weren't part
what's
of the
coming.
preparation of this. You have no idea why me and my team spent the last 2 days writing this and working on this.
I never know why
it's
you and your
crazy.
team do anything. So, yeah.
So, again, I just took headlines over the last few days that we tag in our database. The first one, and these are pretty normal headlines. These aren't sensational. The first one is Regal Rexnord Corporation names Amir Paul as new CEO. Now, it's actually Rexnord, but even the headline writer
They didn't even get the
name,
company name right.
So you see what I mean? Like, in the world of I don't know, this institutional investor world, this retail investor world, ESG world, I don't know that people know how to. Do they know how to operate when there's a new CEO? Do they know what to do? Let's help them. Let's try to help them.
All right.
So this is the boardroom buy-in game. So I'm going to give you in or out. I'm going to give you a bunch of in or out reasons, and you can pick one. You can tell me if you're in on this stock or out, and you can pick any reason I give you. I'm just giving you several different cases of why this could be in or out. All right?
I mean, I'm already riveted, so let's...
I know, this is terrible. In, because The former CEO is going to resign from the board, and that's Louis Pinkham. He had 24% influence. He's gone. He's actually leaving the board. So this could be an opportunity to move on. If you like Amir or Paul,
I'm in. I'm buying on that. I like that.
So should I just skip the rest I have?
No,
All right.
I'm going to go step by step, and at the end, then I'll choose. But already a good sign is when a CEO leaves and they also leave. I'm so tired of the CEO leaving but never leaving. But Brian Cornell is still an executive chair of the board of Target after we've been talking about how he's been gone for almost a year at this point.
He's ruined all the goodwill at that company.
I mean, it's really, nobody goes to Target anymore. Thank you, Brian Cornell. But he managed to cash out into an executive chair role. But I just like when they say they're leaving, they leave. So I'm buying.
And look, for users of the database, and I know you're out there, if you can't handle, if there's one data point you can handle, it's the influencer percentage. So on the board, it's broken out by how much influence they have over the board. And that's one that I think you can wrap your head around. So when you're trying to, maybe you're voting in or out people, or maybe you're talking, you're engaging with the company. If you see someone who has outsized influence and you don't like their background, you don't like the other stuff they're up to, you don't think they're successful, then you should target that and try to get in new voices. So to this point, this guy is leaving 24% influence. Let's move on. Are you in on this because of the chair, Rakesh Sachdev? Now, this guy is interesting. He has 15% influence on this company. He sits on 3 other companies where he also has a minimum of 13% influence on all of them, including Axalta Coating, Herc Holdings, Edgewell Personal. This is a powerful dude. So this company might be in good hands with this new CEO. But maybe you don't like this. Maybe it's overboarded. Maybe it's too powerful. But I just thought maybe this is a powerful chair as a counterbalance, a good counterpoint.
Well, I mean, look, I think it's a little. This guy has a lot of high influence jobs.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, at some point, doesn't he say, "Okay, I really don't need all of these jobs"?
I don't think. Have you seen this high level of influence too at 4 different companies? This is impressive.
The only times you actually see it is when somebody's like a family member at 2 different companies for some reason, right? Like
this struck me as an outlier.
In this case,
are you in or out?
I'm out. I'm out because first of all, he's been there for 18 years. At some point, it's like, okay, you can go away. We don't need you forever either. Just like I don't need the same CEO forever. Yeah. So I'm out on him.
All right, I say out on this next one. The company announced that the CEO succession planning was happening in October of 2025, and I'm asking what took them so long, and why did they avoid their bench? They had 3 strong guys in their bench. They're paying $9 million for this new guy to come in. I don't know. This seems like a succession failure. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know why you go external. So maybe you just don't trust the succession planning, and maybe you're out because you think they should have pulled from They got a pretty deep bench here.
Yeah, well, first of all, this is another reason I'm glad I was out on the chair, Rakesh Sachdev, because you've been there for 18 years. It took you 9 months to figure out who the next CEO is. You've never talked to somebody else at the company. You figured out who might be the next CEO. What the fuck are you doing as the chair?
And just last year, they hired Kevin Long, president, automation and motion control. He came 10 years at Dover Corporation. I'm just thinking, why do you hire this NEO?
Why?
Why is he not it's a little confusing. So I'm looking for a sign of maybe this board doesn't know what it's doing. And look, you have to trace these things back to a source too. Maybe you don't like the new CEO hire because you don't like the board. They don't like the existing board. Maybe that's part of it.
I think actually this is instructive of
how boring I can make this.
Yeah, the most boring show we could possibly make.
Yeah.
No, but they announce
their least snarky show ever.
In October 29th of 2025, right? They announced that he was leaving the company. The current CEO would be leaving the company. But when you look at the actual board, when you're looking at like who's on this board, how long they've been there, this board has 3 people on it who have been there for more than 15 years.
Yeah, with impressive backgrounds. Yeah.
Can you explain to me as an investor what you expect those people to be doing, if not knowing so deeply the bench that they can replace the CEO at a drop of a hat? They can just replace the CEO. But not only did they not actually go from an internal bench, they actually had no fucking idea who they would choose and waited, 8 months to even figure it out.
And spent $9 million to find him. And not only that,
what are you doing?
Awkwardly had a lame duck CEO situation where you potentially have a guy who's leaving. He's leaving the board. Probably doesn't care what's happening at this place anymore. You know what I mean? He already has he knows what golden parachute he's walking away with because he signed that contract, years ago.
A million years ago.
So you leaving a guy there for 9 months who doesn't care. This is like the end of the George W. Bush presidency. It's like where he was just out like painting rocks in his ranch or something. It's like, what a waste. All right, let's go. Keep going. Now I got very nerdy on this, and I actually looked at some of the data at MSCI, and I know not everyone has access to that data, but maybe you do. And
MSCI is no free float giving out free data. Yeah,
that's true. But we have some similar people who are. I know some of the people who work with us or like us also use their data. I say in because Amir Paul spent years at Schneider Electric, which is looking at their profile. They're basically a AAA company, MSCI, which means that they're just, I guess, according to them, they're great. And there's 2 things they do really well there. They overperform their industry in opportunities in clean tech. No, I should say that's the one thing I'm looking at. Opportunities in clean tech, they way outperform their industry, whereas Regal Rexnord way underperforms. And I just thought, I don't know if you're into ESG stuff, if you're into the environment, sustainability, this could be a win. You're getting a guy. Schneider Electric is not American, right? You're getting a guy who has a different sensibility. So maybe this is a win. Maybe this is an in. Maybe this is an invest.
Are you asking me whether I care about MSCI's clean tech score?
Again, this is the most sincere show I've ever done, so help me out here. You can say no. Go ahead and let's just move on.
I don't have any opinion about the clean tech score from MSCI.
Okay. I wonder if some of our listeners do. Yeah.
I'll say in because I know some analysts there. Maybe somebody very smart was working on this company. I can trust them.
All right, finally on this one, the new CEO of Regal Rexnord, I say out because the board is way too entrenched. And you made this point earlier that the chair, Rakesh, Sachdev, we have Curtis Stoling, Stephen Burt, all at least 15 years of tenure. I think maybe this can work if you had gotten rid of them because they seem like they're in the way of this new CEO making decisions.
Forget being in the way. I'm out on this company overall.
Okay.
This is an easy out for me because if you are basing this entirely on the management, what the management has told you is that when the CEO after 6 years decides to step down, first of all, 6 years is not very long, right?
Right. Especially a year that's being a lame duck.
So with a year being a lame duck, right? So you already have a problem that suggests that like the CEO didn't like it there or the board didn't like the CEO. There are 3 people on the board who have been there to choose the prior CEO. We're not prepared. We're not prepared to choose the next CEO.
Yeah.
And effectively telling you that and didn't choose internal, basically admitting that they don't have an internal bench that's any good. So what is your job as an investor here if you're analyzing the management team? It's not just to say like, oh, their cash flow is really great, I should buy the stock. It's to say, does anybody fucking know what they're doing at this company? Is it like...
It doesn't seem like it.
It does not seem like it, does it? I'm a hard out. All right,
that's how the game works. Let's move on. This next one, you probably won't take as seriously, but it's a headline and I'm rolling with it. We can go
take
quickly
everything
if it's
seriously.
too silly.
No, I take everything
UFC seriously. CEO, and
I'm already out.
Yeah, I know these things are silly, but these are these are publicly traded companies in the database here. UFC CEO Dana White says that the shooting at the White House event was awesome, and he took he took in every minute of the incident. So Dana White, for those of you who don't know, CEO at UFC, which is owned by TKO Holdings. He's also a board member at Meta at Facebook. He is one of the underlings on Mark Zuckerberg's board. So I thought, let's weigh in on this. Are you in on both TKO and Meta? Because Dana White is Dana White. This is perfect for those companies. Right?
Oh,
I mean, this is what you want at these companies.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe you're investing in these bro-heavy companies. I remember we had a listener years ago who wanted us to talk about like Rick's Cabaret. It was like a They wanted us to cover the anti-woke companies. Right?
Yeah.
I don't remember why exactly, but maybe you're into the anti-woke. Maybe you invest.
No, you flipped it on its head, right? Like so my initial reaction is always like Dana White's the CEO. He's supposed to be like I don't know, a dude who is controlled and composed and knows what he's doing, strategic, and maybe actually saying the shooting was awesome is his version. That's exactly the type of CEO you want running TKO and being on the board of Meta.
Hey, if you're still invested in any of these monopolist dictator tech companies, then that is what you want. Otherwise, you should divest from all that stuff. I don't care that it makes you money.
I think it works at TKO. Does it work at Meta? Like, is what you want out of Meta a guy who's like, oh, cool, we just live streamed a shooting. That's fucking cool.
But that's what Zuck has become since the second
That's
Trump
what Zuck has become. But we're not Zuck. We're investors.
Okay. So you're
not investors in the company.
You in or out on Dana White being Dana White?
I'm going to say in.
All right, let's move on.
I'm in on.
Are you
on
in
that.
because we're talking about TKO's Ari Emanuel?
Yeah.
Meta Platforms Zuck. These are two of the most known assholes on the planet, and I'm not making that up. Ari Emanuel had a character based on him on a TV show on HBO. We're known to be the world's biggest asshole. Zuck, everyone knows and loves, and because they hate him. So they handle. They get that. So they both have complete control of their boards. Ari Emanuel 67% influence. Zuck has 68% influence. Let them do the running of the company, and Dana White can do all the stupid middle school stuff.
Sideshow,
right?
Yeah, but I'm not as an investor, so I'm a hard out on totalitarian boards.
Right.
And the free float, the back data, right? Like not on the platform, but the data you can get when you're an institutional investor or you're a paying investor of any kind. They have a deference score. Have you seen their new deference score?
Yeah,
it's got like 40 data points in it. And it's about like, it covers everything from how much did you get paid while you were on the board? How dependent are you on management? Right. How prestigious is this board? How connected is this board? Are you similar to the CEO? Do you have connections in common with the CEO? There has to be 20 data points that go into it. Effectively, the end output is saying, what is the likelihood that you are just deferring to management as a board member?
Yeah.
Which, if you're an investor, you don't want a board member who just defers to management. Your job is to pick somebody who defers to you, the investor, right? Like you're the one who owns the company.
Sure.
And Ari Emanuel and Zuckerberg have artificial control of the company.
Yeah.
They don't have economic control. They have artificial control.
Yeah. Somehow they're allowed to do that.
I'm a hard out on everybody who's on those boards because all they are is deferential board members, just sycophants.
How about you're out just because Dana White is a liability? I mean, they have major sponsors like Disney, right? How is Disney going to feel? So Disney's already in a battle now because they want Trump wants Jimmy Kimmel fired because Jimmy Kimmel's telling jokes. Now maybe they should get Dana White should be fired because again, companies like Disney are still major sponsors at TKO, right?
Well, it's a good point of the double standard. But like Jimmy Kimmel, Trump hates, and Dana White, Trump loves. So does it really make a fucking difference? Like I'm not out or in on that. That's just is.
Now, how about, and then finally, let's look at the board of TKO. So, and I basically have the same thing presented twice. You're either in or you're out, because this board are maybe the most serious douches in our database, right? So TKO. So first you have Ari Emanuel. He's the founder, CEO, and chair, 68% influence. He's known as being like the number one asshole of Hollywood. You have Silver Lake's Egon Durbin. He's a VC bro, an Elon bud. He's a Michael Dell buddy. There's so much bad you could say about this guy. Total VC bro. You have TKO COO Mark Shapiro. He's just like everywhere where there are bratty boys. The TKO, he was at Endeavor.
He was the CEO Endeavor with Six Flags at one point.
Yeah, he was at Endeavor with Elon and Egon when they were both on the board. Dick Clark Productions, Papa John's. He used to be a director. That's where the racist Papa John Schnatter. Yeah. Six Flags. Okay, you got TKO lead director Steve Koonin. He's the CEO of the Atlanta Hawks, which is just in some scandal because they wanted to celebrate a strip club as part of a family night at the Hawks game, but a player protested and they ended it. He used to serve on the boards of WWE and GameStop. I mean, this board is like uncontrollable douches. You have a wrestler called The Rock, and say what you will about The Rock, but I mean, come on, what are we doing here? You have former WWE CEO Nick Khan, and then you have Nepo baby NFL bratty boy Jonathan Kraft, who's the son of Bob Kraft, the owner of the Patriots. Who Bob, you're happy if you're a Patriots fan, but Bob is involved with so many scandals.
Every account of Robert Kraft is that he's a like a narcissistic asshole.
I mean, this board. So you take it either way. Are you in on this board? Because this is exactly the board you want at a man baby company, a controlled. All controlled company boards should be this, right?
Okay, I'm out on this. I'm not investing in whatever that.
But to anyone who has TKO in your portfolio, you got to look in the mirror and then start punching the mirror right at your nose. Just start punching it because there's something wrong with you.
It's really bad.
It's not just about returns, people. You can move on just returns. All right, let's go forward. AIG names Eric Anderson, CEO, as former CEO Peter Zaffino moves to executive chair. So he's staying. So are you in because you're getting the CEO, a new CEO and a former CEO?
I'm not in. If you're such a great CEO and you step down and you become executive chair, like you didn't step down. Why don't you just stay the CEO? Because you don't feel like it? Because it's too much work? Because you can make the same amount of money and do less? Like, can someone explain to me the point of executive chair? What do you get for executive chair?
It seems very ego driven these days. It's almost like they don't have the power to push them out. Doesn't that feel like that?
Who doesn't have the power? Like unless it's a dual class company.
The board doesn't have the power, and the former CEO wants to stick around for the ego, for the possibility of boomeranging back, and for the executive salary.
But if every board who's allowed their CEO to become an executive chair, it doesn't suggest they don't have the power to. They have no desire to do their jobs.
Yeah,
in which case, relieve them of their fucking jobs.
Yeah,
they don't need the job.
I agree with you.
I mean, all right. I can't get over how dumb it is.
Let's play the MSCI game one more time. And I think
scores?
Last time I do it. Last time I did, I promise.
Yes.
Do you say in on Eric Anderson? Because here are the things that Aon thrives. So he comes from Aon, and here's where they thrive, according to MSCI: climate change, vulnerability, human capital development, privacy, and data security.
No, I don't care.
Okay, you don't care. I was going to say, or are you out? Because actually AIG is already strong in the exact same places. Why do you need this guy? Right? I mean, according to the data.
Well, first of all, so not to get wonky, but I know how most of those scores are actually derived, and it's not that interesting. I'm not getting anything out of it.
I think you already answered this, but are you out because former CEO Peter Zaffino is just a massive presence in the boardroom? This is not your normal former CEO to become executive chair. He holds 32% of board influence. It's a third of the influence. And you also got some people behind him, lead director John Rice and Diana Murphy, Linda Mills. They all have 30% influence, a combined 30% influence. This new CEO is just not going to have room to breathe. So are you out because of this? But I think you already answered this.
I mean, well, I'm out because of that, yes. But I think, in this case, what I do like is that John Rice, who's the lead independent director, only has a 4-year tenure, which
is unusual. Yeah,
is unusual.
Yeah.
In as much as it's less than 10 years.
Well, this board actually has very low tenure across the board,
which is impressive. But also maybe less impressive because the AIG basically was bankrupt for,
That's
5
true.
of the years that they, so like how many years tenure could you have on this board? I'm not really sure. But I'm still out because I can't do this outsized personality,
before I move on,
narcissism.
Would it change if you're looking at the data at Free Flow Analytics? Does it change your mind if the former CEO only has like 10% of the influence? Is that okay if they stick around? Is it more, at least?
Why? What do you get?
I'm just asking you.
My question is always, what do you get? Because if you love the old CEO so much that you want to keep them around and they want to quit, then let them fucking quit. They're not going to do their job well, or just keep them as the CEO. Convince them to stay on for another 2 years.
Right.
I don't understand this interim thing in which some of them are indefinite interim things where the CEO sticks around. Imagine if the president of the United States was like, I lost the election. I will no longer be president, but I will be
happening right now. Yeah.
I will be executive president chair.
I feel like don't give any ideas. Yeah.
I will sit next to the next president and tell them what to do without being president.
That's probably how they're going to run next. That's probably how Trump and whoever he picks is going to run. It's just
fucking insane, right?
Yeah. It is insane.
It's insane.
All right, finally, are you, again, similar? Are you out because of crappy succession planning? Why are they ignoring their bench? They didn't disclose the golden hello yet. You know it's going to be big because it's AIG. He's an external hire. But, confusingly, they have a guy that just, a young guy, he hasn't been there very long, Charlie Fry. He's an EVP Reinsurance and Risk Capital Optimization. Then you have a guy with the perfect name to be CEO AIG. His name is John Hancock. I mean, that's the best name ever for. But listen to this guy. He leads AIG's 3 business segments: North America Commercial Insurance, blah 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 blah. He previously led AIG's International Commercial Insurance and Global Personal Insurance. This guy he knows AIG. He's also comes from Lloyd's, where his responsibility, Lloyd's of London, where his responsibilities included oversight of performance and risk management globally. So it's like you had a guy right there, John Hancock, with a perfect name.
Well, I think you got 3 things going for you. First of all, he seems eminently qualified. Second of all, his name is very CEO-like. And third of all, he's a dude, right? He's a he. Because one thing you failed at Rex, the Regal Rexnord or whatever, was you had Brooke Lang. Who, unless Brooke is a dude's name.
I think Brooke is a guy's name.
Is it really? Because all the options have to be men. There's no way unless the company's failing.
Brooke is a man.
Oh God! Whew.
Yeah.
Unless the company is failing, we couldn't choose them anyway. I don't like.
What do you think about this?
This one feels different because there's no one to obviously blame. It's not exactly like this CEO. If they're making the announcement that the CEO is stepping down and moving to executive chair, and they already have a new CEO, right? Like they did some succession planning. It probably means they vetted those people on the bench and decided they want to go external. In the other situation, it was they waited 9 months to fucking pick somebody. Right. It means they hadn't done anything, and the board member had been there 20 years. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this.
Let's move on. What is this? The boardroom buy-in game. I hope this is instructive for somebody.
This is the weirdest game you've ever come up with.
I know. This is so sincere, this game. Like there's no I'm so uncomfortable being sincere. Like there's no room for sarcasm, there's no room for dumb jokes. It's just I have to just play it normally.
I know. Somebody somewhere is like, thank God they finally said something serious.
It's hard for me to be a normal human being. Pearson CEO, this is a real classic real classic headline that I don't know that any institutional investors or regular investors know how to operate, how to work off of. Pearson CEO Omar Abosh is up for Autodesk board seat as another director exit. So this is just a simple new director on the board. Omar Abosh, Autodesk. I say, are you in? He comes from Microsoft's industry solutions. Autodesk is desperate to become an AI software company. Omar's the guy for you. He's a Hall of Famer, according to data, free float data. The guy he's replacing, Stephen Milligan, is like a hardware guy, and this is a software guy. And Stephen is a rotation player, according to our data. So Omar is a star. So you're in on Omar.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
I want to. Can I ask a question about the headline?
Go ahead. Yeah.
It says is up for Autodesk board seat as director exit. Did not say appointed.
Yeah. I don't. I can follow through on that to see like if that's misleading. But I think he's slated to join. I mean, he's not. Yeah, he will be. He's nominated. So you're right. So maybe he's not yet on the board. Maybe he will just appear. I mean, I know you're getting into the weeds here, but it sounds like he will appear on the AGM docket, and shareholders can vote on him. But as we know, they say yes to everybody.
Well, it's fascinating because right now on the Autodesk website, it does not have him on the board.
Yeah, he's not yet on the board yet. And Milligan is still on the board. Milligan's leaving at the AGM.
So how often do we actually see a director named who isn't immediately, like when they name these directors, when they put out the press releases, it's just to say that he was already appointed to the board and he will serve on the nom committee or whatever it is. It doesn't say eventually this is the guy for our board when that other guy leaves. I might be hard in on it, not because of who
just
he
because
is,
of that.
Because honestly, what you did was give the market, until at least the next AGM to figure out whether Omar Abosh is somebody they even want on the board.
It's a fair point because I do complain about this all the time. Is that especially when they put directors on the board right before the meeting, like just let the shareholders decide.
Yeah, this is actually a situation in which they didn't put him on the board. They said we will nominate him like a normal director is supposed to be nominated. I like it.
Are you out because this board has a director named Jeffrey Epstein?
Oh.
Okay, that's just a dumb.
No, is it though? Is it? Well, first of all, he goes by Jeff Epstein.
He better.
And second of all, he works at Bessemer Venture Partners, which is one of those VC bro, assholey, we invest in all the AIs and all the things. And prior to that, he was at Oracle under Larry Ellison. And he was part of the DoubleClick mafia. There's a group of people that worked at DoubleClick. Do you remember DoubleClick?
Yeah.
That was bought by Google to improve their advertising.
Part of the ruination of the internet.
So I am not in on Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, you're out.
I am out.
Are you in because this is a good sign? The chair, Stacy Smith, 12% influence, former CFO at Intel. It's, we're replacing a hardware guy with a software guy. Sounds like the chair is doing the right moves. Are you in on the chair move here? Are you like this chair?
I like that the chair only has 14% influence.
Stacy Smith.
Yeah, but that usually means that the CEO has a whole lot of influence, so maybe I don't like it. I don't know. I'm looking at their pictures right now.
Yeah.
And it does look like a sea of white, bald guys.
See, I tried to bait you there. I thought maybe you would say you're in because it's good to have, just to have a female board chair is important. But Stacy actually is a dude.
But you said CFO of Intel. There's no way that was going to be a girl.
Okay, so I tried to because I say you ignore the short-term stock returns if your thing is diversity and leadership. And just go for your ethics, go for your moral stance. But it's a guy.
I'm out on chair Stacy Smith.
All right.
I'm out on him twice.
How about let's talk about AI stuff. Are you in because so Omar is the CEO at Pearson, which they're doing AI in education. Autodesk is trying to get into AI, integrating AI into urban planning and architecture. And we talk about AI and cybersecurity, and so few boards have any of this expertise. So are you in because Omar brings some AI AI credentials.
No, well, that's a double-edged sword because I hate AI in education at all.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Like, it's literally destroying brains.
No, it's
like there's actual studies now that show it's lowering cognitive ability to use AI.
And it's probably because when you consider who's developing AI, it's a bunch of dropout tech bros. When the thought of integrating AI into urban planning also scares the hell out of me.
I mean, are we literally going to like everything's going to fall out of the sky? Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on it. It's not the AI thing. It's not for the AI. It's because of the AI that I'm out.
But let's give shareholders a break here. So, as you said, they actually get to support or vote against this new director. He's not already being appointed to the board. So let's in or out. So I'm going to say, is this an out because Omar is the CEO of Pearson and Pearson is doing its own AI transition. How is this guy going to have time to care about AI at Autodesk? I mean, he's just there. I mean, don't you think that some directors are just there because it makes the board look better and smarter? Do you really think this guy is going to spend time trying to fix Autodesk's AI when he has his own? He's the CEO of a company trying to deal with AI.
Well,
maybe he's just a name. Maybe it's just fluff.
Isn't that most board members at this point? They just vote with whatever management says.
But this is why I question having people who are I question like Tim Cook's role on Nike when he's the CEO of Apple. It's like, how does he have time to care about selling some Air Jordans?
Well, I mean, we can go backwards and basically say like, all right, let's look at who's. First of all, didn't Autodesk have some? Was it Autodesk that
might have been AutoZone?
They had some like scandal thing, didn't they? Where they
probably
mismanaged cash flows. Like there was like some accounting scandal that they had in 2024.
Okay. So you're thinking that instead of getting an AI guy, they should get more?
I think they should get a guy that can count. Yeah, okay. I think they need
out.
somebody who. So I'm out.
And then finally, replacing AI guy with a hardware guy, right? That's what they're doing ostensibly.
The hardware guy was Western Digital.
Right? Didn't they make like hard drives?
Yeah.
External hard drives? Okay, but my question is this. Is this suggesting that Autodesk is about to blow all its money on AI and fire a bunch of people? Is this a bad sign? Oh. Maybe you're out on voting for this guy because you don't want it to turn into Snap or something, you know?
I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, Mostly,
I tried on this one. This was a hard one for me. Autodesk was hard for me.
Like Stephen Milligan is almost bald, and Omar Abash is totally bald. Okay. So I actually just think they upgraded the hair,
saving money,
so that Jeff Epstein, Blake Irving, and the other bald members. It's a very bald board. There's 3 men who are bald men. 3.5. Okay. It's a very bald board.
Let's move on.
I'm out. I'm out.
Trump's idea to just buy bankrupt Spirit Airlines draws GOP backlash.
We don't need to. Do we need to do anything here? This is a bad.
Do you want dumb. Me to? I have a few things. You want me to walk you through what I did? What I found?
Walk me through a thing. You're in out on everything.
You're in because they have a reconstituted board in the last year. I was looking at the database
because they went bankrupt.
Yeah, second time they went bankrupt.
Right, so they had to reconstitute the board.
Their CEO, Dave Davis, first of all, great name for a CEO, Dave Davis.
Dave.
45% influence. That's incredible. This is his company. He rescued Sun Country, which was a small airline, I think, in the Arizona somewhere. So maybe this is your dude. Maybe this is a good guy to have, right? You're in because of this guy, maybe.
Aren't they declaring bankruptcy? They need a loan because they're horrible?
I'm going to keep trying with you on this company. Are you in because they have director and all-star Robert Milton? He's a former CEO chair Air Canada. He led the restructuring there. Are you in on that?
So they're bringing in restructuring people because it's a bankrupt place at Spirit, right?
Yeah.
And now they're bankrupt again.
Yeah.
Is this part of the restructuring that to declare bankruptcy a second time in 2 years?
As a potential investor, help me out with this. So I just presented the cases of 2 board members there who have that experience. Now I'm also going to present the cases of 2 NEOs. You have CFO Fred Cromer. He's presiding over Spirit's second bankruptcy restructuring under 2 years. And you have COO John Benderitis, he's been there since 2017. So he's been there during the Spirit's entire decline. Engine issues, labor disputes, service meltdowns, bankruptcies. So those two NEOs stay. The board gets reconstituted. Where are you on this?
Well, so bankruptcies are a weird thing because the people I've talked to about bankruptcies. So first of all, your
children.
Yeah, mostly my children. So like Robert Milton, the former CEO of Air Canada, you want those guys on the board because you want somebody who's done the restructuring before. That's usually post-bankruptcy. The boards all get reconstituted with people who are rescue agents, right? In fact, Free Float was asked at one point to tag directors as bankruptcy board directors, not people who were on the board when it went bankrupt, but who joined the board after the bankruptcy who are part of turnarounds, right? Because you want turnaround specialists on these boards. Part of that is you can't fire the entire NEO staff. Otherwise, like there's nobody there who knows the company while you're trying to turn it around, right? So there's this weird moment, and they haven't had more than a year and a half to actually get through this. There's this weird moment where you got to like keep around the guy who sucks horribly in order to turn around the company. So I don't really know how to land on this. I am not in on Spirit Airlines because I think there should be less airlines.
And I would just say the last out was Trump thinks it's a good idea, so maybe you're out on that.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm honest,
yeah.
If Trump is investing the money and you are an investor, doesn't that mean like you get in and then you sell the stock as soon as it gets a Trump bump?
Yes, that actually is part of it. Yeah,
right. It's not that he thinks it's a good idea because he's a horrible investor and or deal maker, but you can make money off of it. So I'm going to say in on that. I'm going to say
all right. I mean, this is clearly from everything I've heard. When I've traveled over the last years, is it's also just a horrible airline. So it's like, what a great airlines to let die.
I mean, if you're going to let one die, they saved Intel, right? But Intel had 10,000 employees, something like some high number of employees. Spirit Airlines, how many employees could they possibly have? A couple, 100?
And they're probably not making a lot of money, throwing bags on the planes. All right, let's just end this horrible game. This is the boardroom buy-in game with one more headline. I hope it's been instructive to somebody. Snap appoints Doug Hott as new CFO. H-O-T-T, Doug Hott. You're in because Doug Hott is coming from Amazon. Who understands addicting people, addicted customers better than Doug Hott from Amazon, right?
I'm in for his name. Doug Hott.
Okay, so you're in on his name, but so then CFO Derek Anderson's leaving, but he also came from Amazon. So we have one failure from Amazon, one guy from Amazon saving the company. I mean, where are you on this one?
Oh man. So the Amazon guy replacing the Amazon guy?
Yeah. What kind of imagination does this company have? We know, right? None imagination. I'm out now. Are you in? Because finally, Evan Spiegel and Robert Murphy, who they combine 80% influence here, they finally found someone willing to do some dirty work and make decisions. I mean, these two, Evan and Robert, are pointless, and they found someone. Doug Hott comes in, fires a bunch of people. So maybe you're in. Finally, Evan and Robert has someone to do something.
Am I in? I'm in on him as executioner, especially if he just came from Amazon where they executed thousands of employees there too.
Well, or are you about this one though? Are you out because the former CFO Derek Anderson is bailing right as the company announced layoffs and faces activist pressure from Irenic Capital? So maybe it's a bad sign, right? When he bails. No.
The bad sign is, does Irenic Capital know that they can't vote?
I know, right?
What is?
Well, they can influence Evan and Bob is what they can do, I guess.
Really? They're going to call Evan and Bob and be like, do what we want? I'll be out.
I mean, this one's messy because the reports are that Evan and Bob needed Irenic Capital to realize they needed to fire CFO Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson has been there forever and has sucked. And they needed an activist investor to come in. I mean, these Evan and Bob just don't seem to do anything.
Is it really the CFO's fault that Snap doesn't make money?
All right.
I'm out on that.
How do you feel about investing in a company that brings in a CFO and has them immediately fire everyone? And that person's going to be hated by everyone and feared by everyone. Is that a company you want to invest in?
Do you think anyone at Snap doesn't know Evan Spiegel makes every decision? Right?
Okay.
Like I don't.
So
think
you don't care about that?
I don't think so. Yeah.
And then finally, something we don't talk about very often when talking about Snap. Are you out because of who their chair is? And this chair has 8% influence, which at this company is significant. This is probably the only adult in the room with power on the board. His name is Michael Linton. And let me tell you who Michael Linton is. So you're in and out on this guy as your chair for the future of Snap. He's been there for a while. This dude was the CEO and chair of Sony Pictures for about 15 years. And part of that tenure is when the studio faced what is widely considered the most devastating corporate scandal in Hollywood history, the 2014 Sony Pictures hack. This is your chair at Snap. So are you in or out on this?
Honestly, I'm in on it because it doesn't matter who the chair is.
Okay.
Does it matter at all?
The question is, did this game matter?
The question is,
I feel like we had some momentum in there, but I don't know. Is this a viable format? Is it too much? Is it too boring?
I don't know. Let's let the listeners answer the question.
Somebody please
reach out
respond
to us and tell us whether this was.
Does it give you a different
whatsoever.
way to parse like changes in the board, to parse executive change, to look at succession planning differently? I mean,
look, if I'm summarizing here, I'm out on Regal Rexnord. I'm out on UFC, TKO, Dana White, right? I'm in on AIG. I am out on Pearson CEO, and I'm kind of in on Spirit Airlines, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely out on Snap.
I mean, here's my point here. Here's the major thesis. Because I hear people, and I look at LinkedIn. I don't hear people because no one actually reaches out to me to talk to me, even though I think I have some answers. I lurk on LinkedIn, and people are complaining about all kinds of things. Make some decisions. If you don't
do a thing.
If you think succession planning sucks at a certain company and you're worried that it took a year and there's a lame duck CEO, or you don't like executive chairs. I saw someone complaining about why do we have executive chairs hanging around with the former CEOs. Make an action item. Vote someone out. Hold the board accountable. They are making these decisions, people. Don't just complain about it on your LinkedIn feed. That's not enough. Convince others to vote people out, to make decisions. That's all I'm trying to say.
Just everyone call Damien. That's all we got. That's Hazelnut Ross. I'm your analyst, Matt Mascari. We are free float. That was our Tuesday something.
I don't know what that was. I don't know how I feel about that. I didn't have a lot of fun doing that.
We're going to have Thursday. We've got a proxy countdown. Friday, we're going to wrap up the week.
We're talking about Aflac on Thursday. Speaking of insurance.
Speaking of fun.
Proxy countdown. That's a different show.
Speaking of fun on the proxy countdown. So come back for those. Until then, goodbye.